I'm here with John Larabell, author of the cover story for the latest issue of The New American titled The Rise of the Robots. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
In reference to your article, what jobs do you think are likely to be replaced by robots?
Oh, many jobs. Starting with blue-collar jobs such as fast food workers, a lot of manual labor jobs in factories, even going so far as to replace drivers, truck drivers, taxi drivers. And this isn't just in America, this is in a lot of other countries too. China, for example, is very rapidly industrializing and trying to replace a lot of its factory workers with robots. They have a very large industrial production economy. They produce a lot of the world's goods. They're robotizing very quickly over there, so that could potentially replace a lot of blue-collar workers. And also a number of white-collar jobs are at risk of being replaced by robots as well.
Like doctors, surgeons?
Potentially, yeah. And some of these will take longer, but it is definitely something that could happen in the future.
Do you think that would affect education as well, higher learning institutions? Because if they're going to be replaced, then why would they go to school, essentially?
Well, yeah, and not only that, but as technology increases, education is becoming more internet-based. So we're seeing even now where you can get a lot of college-level courses for free online, like the Khan Academy, for example. And I foresee in the future, really, that education system as we know it in Western countries, such as, the public K through 12, and then the university system could drastically change over the next couple of decades. Whether you'll still have to enroll and pay for it or not, or it could just, technology is just allowing it to be available to the masses much more easily. And a lot of teachers could find themselves obsolete because of that.
What do you think government's role in this would be?
Would be or should be? That's two very different questions. A lot of economists and experts are saying that the government should just take over, and some are suggesting give people a certain amount of money just for being alive, almost like welfare for everybody. A basic income or guaranteed income, they're calling it. And some say, well, you have to do that, then people will have that security, then they can feel free to get a job if they want one, and they don't have to worry about it if it doesn't work out. Or if there's not jobs, then they still have that. I foresee a problem with that, mainly that if you pay people not to work, there's not a lot of incentive there. Some people still might, but a lot of people probably wouldn't, especially if it's an amount of money that you can live off of, okay? Additionally, if that does happen, then the government basically controls you. If they're supporting everyone, everyone's basically the property of the government, or the elite class of people that run everything, that still own the businesses and whatnot. What I think should happen, and I talked about this in my article, is if the government would step away from that and let people just figure it out on their own, using their own rational self-interest. I think that'd be a much better idea. People will figure that out. Human ingenuity can figure that out. People could become more self-sufficient. Going back to days when we just had single-income households, and people could do things at home, maybe more artisan, craft type things like you see now, the whole local movement growing up with locally produced artisan food and crafts, and people could, for example, do more gardening at home for vegetable gardening. Some people do that now, but if, say, only one person in the family is working, you have more time for a person to stay home and do other things. Now, single-parent households, that'd be a lot tougher, but I really think there would be opportunities for people, even if, say, 50% of the population doesn't have jobs anymore, which was kind of how we were, when women still didn't enter the workforce. Only the men worked. It was kind of the same way then. There's ways people would figure it out.
Do you think that the shift in this human labor is going to be good or bad, in your opinion?
It could go either way. I think in some ways it could be good, because technology will allow a lot more people access to things that could actually increase their independence, do a lot of things in their own home, such as 3D printing, things like that. Could be bad depending on what government does. I think if government really steps in and tries to control the situation and take care of everybody, that potentially could be bad. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. It kind of could go either way over the next few decades as this happens. So it is definitely an exciting and interesting time.
To read John's article, The Rise of the Robots, check out the latest issue of The New American at shopjbs.org.